Welcome to the question and answer portion with Noam and Yaniv. We had a question about how do the products get tested to all platforms? Seems like a very daunting task to me to make sure they work on every platform out there.
Yeah. So we have a very big QA team, which is it's actually split into two big teams. One is more focused on testing plugins in studio applications, uh, both Windows and Mac. So they work on each one of those platforms on about 10 to 15 DAW applications. Um, so that means that each one of those QA engineers have at least 2 or 3 computers running all the time, so they can do those tests. Um, Many tests are being done, and there is another big QA group that are more focused on SoundGrid, and they do all the tests for SoundGrid devices and applications. Um, and these teams have a team of, let's say, robots, which are automated machines at the end of the day that do a lot of tests also. So it's a big operation of testing on a lot of machines with a lot of operating systems and different applications, different devices, like some of the consoles that we integrate with. So at least a few models of them are being tested every day, actually. Um,
So does that
so
entail like older versions of stuff too? Like, I mean, there's people out there that are still using Pro Tools 9. So do you guys care about older stuff, or what? How does that work?
Well, there we have to put a limit somewhere. Usually we are supporting a 2 or 3, actually 3 operating system back on a Mac. And each operating system has its own set of application versions. And then on each Waves major release, we kind of bump it with the release of operating system. Now, Windows 10 has been there as Windows 10 for quite a while now.
Long time, yeah.
So it's always with Windows 10, but we prefer that people would use the latest and updated version from the operating system manufacturer, because then we're sure that what we test and we try to be updated as much as possible is the same as the users.
So you're saying I should update from Windows Vista then, right?
Yes.
Windows
I love to
3
bring up
is
Windows
not
Vista. Sorry, I love Windows Vista. This has to be a daunting task, and there's got to be a bunch of relationships between you and we already know there's one with Digico, but with Yamaha and Allen and Heath, you've got to be talking to those companies constantly about what they're going to come up with to be sure it's compatible, to keep it seamless, and all that stuff. You've got to be talking to all those companies all the time.
Is there one person that's kind of part of that, or is it just project managers are speaking to Yamaha about something?
Well, that's actually product management and QA. They would be usually would contact people from other companies, and then there is a great collaboration, by the way, between the companies in the industry. It's really great. It always makes me happy to see it all over again. And we do work with a lot of companies. Some of them have competing products, but we're doing a lot of things together in collaboration, so it's all working out fine. So yeah, there's some companies that are more in link with our QA and development teams as well. and some of them are more at the product level.
What
less
do you?
interaction.
Oh wow, cool. What do you guys, both of you, maybe Noam, you can answer first. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
We have, well, I think that we have imagination that is fulfilling itself in a way. We discussed about LV1 as a concept minimum 10 years ago, really, me and Yaniv. I think I'm going to be somewhere in the cloud. I'm not sure how yet, which means that and doesn't really matter if it's processing waves or I think the facilities will be somewhere and available for us everywhere. That's where I think we're going to be.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
I think that cloud is a very important place in the future, and things would be linked more to a cloud. But I do think that we'll see more and more personal kind of stations in all types and forms, because that becomes like whatever the iPad kind of thing concept is very big. So that concept will have more and more, and maybe in connection with cloud, and that could be this is where we are right now. We all have those phones and iPads and computers, and they all link together, and I guess there'll be more nice things to do with that in the future.
Well, I think
if I may add,
add
just one thing, and that's the overall, at least with the entertainment and performance and artists on stage, I think the gap between what the artist has in mind towards the consumer audience, whatever, is going to be, the gap is going to be reduced, I think.
Very interesting.
This is a good point. A good point.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I think that the vision for that exists, right? Like people are always talking about it, but I think it's the infrastructure that kind of has to catch up to it, right?
Technology, right?
Technology, well, the technology infrastructure part of it, not necessarily on Waves end, for example, but
just on in general.
Yeah, like just, I'm in a field with an LV1 and I have to have connection to the internet in order to have this cloud-based thing work. That is what's going to come, right? It's the connection part of that is going to be available, and therefore the infrastructure part of that will work.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Tater, you got anything else?
I'm good.
All right.
That's very good. Goes by quick, doesn't it?
It goes by quick. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Highly
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's always a
great.
pleasure.
Thank you for this opportunity.
It's always a pleasure.